What's going on, people? So, out of the blue, Microsoft stealth removed the 12-month subscription model for Xbox Live Gold. And this has prompted a lot of people to speculate why? Why would they do this? What is their end game? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we dive into this, I need to point something out. Everything we're going to be speaking on is rumor and speculation. Microsoft has not given a clear-cut answer as to why they have removed this particular way of subscribing to Xbox Live and left everything else. You can still subscribe to Xbox Live via 1 month, 3 month, and for the time being anyways, you can go into a convenience store and buy a 12-month card. But it is always fun when they don't give you an answer. You start thinking to yourself, well, what do you mean by this? And if there's something that I've learned watching all of these generations of consoles unfold, there's always a disruption leading into a new generation. And just from what I've been hearing behind the scenes, Xbox Live Gold potentially going free might be that catalyst. But before we even get into that, let's have a practical conversation about Xbox Live. This service has been around for almost 20 years. If y'all can believe it or not, we're going on the 4th generation of Xbox Live. And whether or not you subscribe to the idea of having to pay to play online, it has become a console industry standard. So much to the point that Microsoft's own competitors, I'm sure you guys remember back in the day, PlayStation and Nintendo would berate Microsoft for having pay to play online. Like, oh, first off, you have to worry about your console bricking every 5 minutes, and then they want to charge you to pay to play online? No, don't worry about that. Come over to our system right here. PS3, it only does free online, but it also does everything. You guys remember that marketing campaign for the Slim model? And it's so funny how not even 3 years later, they came out with the PS4, and it's like, yeah, pay to play online. And then Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch, this company who can't even work on a functioning online component for Smash Brothers, they started charging for online too. So unfortunately, it's just the nature of the business. They saw how much annual revenue Microsoft was raking in from this, and they just wanted a piece of that pie as well. It is what it is, man. Business at the end of the day. But if there's one thing that I've noticed with both PlayStation and Nintendo, as strange as this sounds, they know how to do pay to play online. God, that sounds so weird. But it's true. If you look at Xbox, dating back to the 360, they've had these arbitrary paywalls on top of paywalls. So if you were a gamer who also used your Xbox as a media center, let's say you downloaded Netflix or Hulu, if you wanted to watch shows on those services, you had to be subscribed to Xbox Live Gold. Yeah, you're already paying the monthly fee to those companies, but you also have to be subscribed to Microsoft? What? Thankfully, they did remove that paywall with the launch of the Xbox One, but another paywall that exists is the one that is gatekeeping free-to-play titles. Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, all these major free-to-play games that have become so popular, you still have to be subscribed to Xbox Live Gold to have the privilege of playing them. Whereas on PS4 and Nintendo Switch, you don't have to worry about that. So it's like Microsoft has been so pro-consumer this entire generation, listening to the fans and giving us what we want. But then there's just that stain on their blouse, that's just not coming off no matter how many times you try to wipe it. Maybe Xbox Live Gold going free, taking down the free-to-play paywall, in addition to the entire paywall of paying to play online in general, might be a way for them to make up for that fact. I know what you guys are saying. Neo, what are you talking about? You just said that Microsoft has made millions into the billions of dollars of revenue for pay to play online. Why would any type of company, especially one that doesn't have 100 million consoles out there, why would they forego this guaranteed revenue? And to be honest, y'all are right. But just look at the optics of it. Okay? So looking at it from Microsoft's very own ecosystem, the Xbox ecosystem has evolved far beyond just one particular console. It's no longer just an Xbox console you buy once every few years. It has come back home onto PC. Microsoft has been focusing a lot more on PC in the past couple of years, but in addition to that, it's been branching out towards streaming with Project xCloud. Now, if you are a gamer who plays Xbox games on PC, you'll notice that you don't have to pay to play online. So the games that you would be playing on Xbox, such as Gears 5 and Halo Infinite, those games, when they come to PC, you can play them for free. You can voice chat with your friends for free. And you look at the Xbox and you're like, so I'm already paying $500 for this console. I'm really invested in this ecosystem. I've bought the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X. Yet, PC gamers get all the stuff that I get for free. They don't even have to subscribe to Xbox Live. And their Game Pass is only $5 a month versus mine, which is $10. It makes, if I'm being honest with y'all, if you are a person who plays Xbox games on PC through the Xbox Windows 10 app, it makes the Xbox console look straight welfare. That's what it is, man. And it's really sad, especially for the people who have been invested into Xbox for so long. And then when you're mixing in Project xCloud into the mix, I'm pretty sure they're going to have like really good subscription models where you will just subscribe to play the games that you want and don't have to worry about paying to play online. So maybe Microsoft is removing this service as a way to make it universal across the board. Like, you don't have to worry about this platform, you having to have Xbox Live Gold, because just, again, look at everything in full context. It's all about you playing Xbox games, not necessarily where. So let's say you have a computer in your office and you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass on PC. Let's say you have an Xbox Series X in the living room. Well, if you want to finish your Halo Infinite co-op gameplay on Xbox Series X, you have to subscribe to Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass. So you're paying $15 extra a month. Again, it's like, what? You get what I'm trying to say? So that's one particular reason, as I can see Microsoft potentially bringing down this paywall. The second one, and I think there's a lot of credence to this, I think it might have to do with the free-to-play games out there. Okay? So games like Fortnite, Warzone, all those big popular titles, Apex Legends, they're very popular. And they also make a lot of money. For games that have such a non-existent barrier of entry, they're free. People invest a lot of money into it. With the case of Fortnite, Epic makes so much money off of that game where they could probably put out 20 AAA titles, and I don't think they would come close to making the amount of money they get off of Fortnite. It's astronomical how much money they make. But Epic is not the sole recipient of all that revenue. In order for them to have their games on the consoles, they pay licensing fees. And all those licensing fees also translate to extra revenue, okay, off everything related to that game. So for every Fortnite skin that is sold, the console manufacturer, whether it's PlayStation or Nintendo or Microsoft, they make some revenue. So Microsoft literally has just screwed themselves because they have this arbitrary paywall where you have to be subscribed to their service in order to bring a person to the point where they could pay for those Fortnite skins or whatever. PlayStation and Nintendo, you could just buy the consoles, boot up Fortnite, and that's it. And Microsoft loses that revenue, whereas Sony and Nintendo, they gain that revenue. There's a lot of people out there, I'm sure y'all know this, who only buy these consoles to play annualized sports games, annualized Call of Duty, and all of this free-to-play stuff that's just been booming in the past couple of years. What if Microsoft made their service free across the board? So not only can you play all those free-to-play games and you can spend money on those free-to-play games, but you can play all these other Xbox games that are having thriving ecosystems. And you can invest more money in that. Gosh, it sounds like I'm giving some type of a lecture at a game company how to, turn players into payers and engagement. But these are the optics. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Microsoft makes a substantial chunk of revenue just from allowing games like Fortnite and Warzone to be there. So maybe they're going to use that revenue to subsidize the loss of Xbox Live Gold's paywall. Because Xbox Live Gold, yeah, it's $60 a year. Optimistically, you want them to subscribe month to month because, you get more revenue. But that's just a one-time thing. Whereas all these other games, some people are throwing like hundreds of dollars a month into these games. That's extra revenue for these companies. So that could be a potential possibility. Removing all sorts of paywalls to bring in all the consumers, and then, fingers crossed, all that extra revenue helps bolster their bottom line. Now, the third reason, the rise of Xbox Game Pass. As y'all know, Xbox Game Pass has been absolutely killing it for the past couple of years. It's the best value in all of gaming. And with the introduction of Project xCloud, it's just going to blow PlayStation out the water with all the games you can play and all those games you could stream. It's dope. It's amazing. Xbox Game Pass now has 10 million subscribers. So obviously people like the service, and it is growing year over year. Maybe Microsoft has gained enough revenue off those people to warrant them dropping the subscription entirely for Xbox Live Gold. Possibly. Who knows? $15 a month is much better by comparison to someone just paying $60 a year. You're getting extra cash from that. And if someone is so invested in the ecosystem to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass and they see that they're getting all these games for free, maybe they'll throw some extra money at Halo or Gears of War. It's a possibility. Now, moving into the opposite end of the spectrum, talking about some of the negative ramifications, because, we always look at things from varying angles over here. A lot of people assume that them removing this option is just Microsoft being the greedy corporation that they are. Oh, they aren't this pro-consumer shtick that they've been running with. No. They're just greedy and they want you to spend more. Is it a possibility? Yeah, because removing the $60 a year model and then having you resort to, what's the cheapest one? $25 a quarter. So that's about $100 a year. That's extra $40. And if I'm being honest, business is business. So potentially that could be the reason as to why. But if I'm being honest with y'all, I feel like that runs counterintuitive from Microsoft recently and giving people options for things. Like, why would they remove one of the more, I don't even want to say it's one of the more popular models. It's just something that's existed for so long, an annual subscription, in favor of just gaining a momentary gain in revenue. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff they've been doing now is for the long term. And the way they've been talking about things, the full support of the higher ups, it would just feel so weird for them to just want to get an extra $40 from people. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really understand that viewpoint right there. And there's some other people saying that, well, maybe this is going to pave the way for them wanting to have people subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, because Game Pass Ultimate gives you Xbox Live Gold and all those extra games. True, it is a better value. It is. And even if you compare the $60 a year for Xbox Gold to the amount of money you would be spending with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, the bang for your buck you're getting, it just does not, like, there's no competition. All these games, being able to play them day one, all the discounts, all the freebies on all that stuff, it's great. But that's just my personal opinion on it. I can't just push this on the consumer saying, yeah, this is good, you should subscribe to this, and that's all you're going to get. Because who am I to say what's good for gamers? I can only speak on what's good for me. And Microsoft removing one of those options, even though Game Pass is such a great value, I don't think it's really going to stick with a lot of people. And then you have to talk about the revenue of things. Xbox Live has 90 million active users, but out of all those 90 million active users, those people aren't all subscribed to Xbox Live Gold. There's a lot of people who play on the PC. There's a lot of people who have Xbox accounts on their phones. And, that doesn't equate to any type of revenue for Microsoft, So realistically, it is up in the air as far as what this could potentially do for Microsoft, because there is a lot of benefits in going free online. But at the same time, sacrificing all that revenue in the hopes that it's going to just bolster the community and bring more people into the ecosystem, it just remains to be seen at how well this is just all going to unfold. But if I had to pick a side in this, I am leaning more towards them going free online across the board, and then them propping up Game Pass, its entire service, and xCloud is like the thing you want to get. So if you want to get all the day one exclusives and stream all your games and extra discounts and freebies, subscribe to this for, I don't know if they drop the price to $10 a month, but getting all that revenue and then more people in there, Who knows? Literally, stranger things have happened. Like, nobody thought that, like, just like last generation in particular, Nintendo would make a comeback from the Wii U with the Switch. That PlayStation 4 would be selling like, what, 100+ million units, and then Xbox would just be staggering this generation. Anything is possible in the console gaming industry. So we'll just have to wait and see things unfold. But what do y'all think about this? Comment down below and let me know. From me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace. And it didn't stop recording. That is so weird. Peace.